This air feels so good right now. Do I talk about failing the MSF? I guess I can. I'm feeling good enough today. So, I took the MSF, I think a year ago, 2 days from now. But the test is basically a cone weave. It's pretty easy. It's actually not that bad. There's a cone weave. There's obviously the U-turn box, which is what fails everybody, it seems like. On the first 2 exercises, you're only allowed to miss up to, I believe it's 10 points total. In other words, you fail the whole test. It doesn't even matter how you do on the other 3 sections. You just fail the entire test. So if you get past that part, you're actually good. You can just pass the whole rest of the test. It's pretty easy. It's a braking section. I think you get it to 20 miles an hour, and you got to stop within like 18 feet or 20 feet or something. But you only get a couple points if you go beyond that, which I actually did the second time I ever took the class. So there's that. There's a swerve. Swerving is honestly fun. If you ever grew up riding bicycles, you probably swerved around potholes just for fun. So there's a swerve, and then the very end is basically just the icing on the top. If you've ever done like a Spartan race before, you jump over the fire as the last obstacle. It's ceremonious. If you can do the class, you can pass the cornering one. It's like part of the peanut gallery, which you'll end up learning inside the class itself. Anyway, this video is, I guess, to focus on the top 2. It's the cone weave, which I believe it's 12 or 15 feet offset, or not offset, but it's a straight line. They're just spaced at that interval. There's no offset. It's 0 foot offset, essentially. The tip on that one is to basically keep looking forward at the next cone you're going to hit. So you've got the cone that's coming up that's imminent. You want to look at the next cone, or possibly even the next one right after that, as soon as you pass the one that's imminently coming up. That's the big tip on that one. And it's really not that hard to pass. The other tip is on the U-turn box. That's the one where they say, look where you want to go. I mean, you really got to look where you want to go. It's not just a look with your eyes kind of thing. You got to look with your head, your eyes, look with your chin, look with your upper chest. Like, you turn your body. And when you turn your body, it forces your handlebars to turn too. Because that's the big deal. You want to get a full lock, or almost a full lock pretty much. You don't have to do a full lock actually on the MSF box. It's a 20-foot box. When you do the box, you want to basically keep your head and eyes up. You want to look at the horizon or look at an object. The target fixation is a bad thing normally, but in this case it can be a good thing. Focus on something that's way out in front of you. Like if around my lot there were a bunch of light posts everywhere, kind of staged out actually, kind of like a dressage ring if you know anything about horseback riding. And you basically just look at one of them that's way behind you, 180 degrees behind your back. That makes it a lot easier. And then also too, you want to dip your handlebars. When I say dip, I mean you shove them in relation to your body. Coming kind of close there, Sparky. You want to dip your handlebars down, and that's going to make your bike turn, because your tires have a circular radius on them. They want to turn. So yeah, those are, I guess, 2 of the bigger tips. And you want to get that bike leaned over. When you dip your handlebars, the bike's going to want to lean. Allow it to lean. The big tip comes from a Jerry Palladino video. We talked about this phenomenon where if you go below 5 miles an hour, you will drop the bike. Speed is actually your ally. So when you're in the class and you do the practice sessions, you should actually be pushing it to the limit. Don't be afraid to drop the bike, because it doesn't matter. It's not your property, it's their property. If something breaks on it, tough shit, that's their problem. You're in there, you're paying your money to be in that class. You should be able to do whatever the hell you need to do be able to do it. If they don't put crash bars in their stuff, that's their problem. But it's to get you comfortable. You should be able to push it to the limits. That way, when the actual test comes up, you know how far you can push the bike. You know how fast you can go. You know how slow you can go. So, if you know for a fact that you can hit, you can do the U-turn box at 8 miles an hour, or you can do it at 5. I mean, you can't do it at 5. It requires a lot of rear brake. The rear brake basically just keeps the bike stood up as you keep acceleration on it. I really should just do a video in a parking lot about this. This might be me just rambling. Get passed by Corollas. This is such a fucking nice day out, man. Can't stress that enough. Love being out here.